Just relax your body, friends. Just drop your body as if it's very light like a feather. Drop the heaviness of the mind as well. Whenever you have a thought, witness the thought and come back to your breath. Your breath is like your home, like you travel outside and you come to home. Same thing with the breath. You go out and you go in. Just a natural breath, friends. Feel how it is going in and how it is coming out. It is just flowing. It is all flow with that breath. By dropping the limitations of the mind. Just a natural breath. Last 1 minute, friends. Slowly bring back your awareness to your physical body and your surroundings. Last 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now slowly place your both hands over your eyes for a few seconds. And whenever you are ready, you may remove your hands and slowly open your eyes. So, welcome back, friends. If you have some water next to you, drink some water. All right, friends. So, we have entered into day 37 of We Heal Ourselves sessions. So, today is about little technical instruments and all these things to just check the energy and everything. So, the topic's name is Radical Changes Are Possible Through Radionics, and it is given by Don Paris. So, we will get to know a little bit about Don, friends. Don Paris began his musical career at an early age of 9 when he formed a rock band called Free Flight and became one of the top bands in the Midwest. At college, he studied classical guitar, piano, and voice. He also studied recording engineering at National Recording Studios in Baltimore, Maryland. Don's fascination with the spirit worlds and out of body experience was ultimately what moved him from the world of rock into meditation music. Soon, Don's main work began to center around healing and radionics, and he became the world's foremost authority on the SE5, a popular radionics unit. He did experiments combining radionics and music with fascinating healing results. He received an honorary PhD from the University of Vitalogical Sciences in Stockholm, Sweden, in the year 2000 for his work in this field. A few excerpts received from Don Paris is this, friends. So, radical changes are possible through radionics. When radionics was first developed, it was 100% focused on disease and the elimination of symptoms. This was also true of its use in agriculture. For example, in the 1950s, there was a study done according to USDA methods for the control of pests. They first took an aerial photo of the corn field and then cut out of the photo every other 4 rows of corn. They went through the cornfield and counted how many Japanese beetles had damaged the corn in the untreated area and then in the treated area. The treated area was sent informational fields via a radionics instrument. One method of sending information via a radionics instrument is to place a poison, for example, a pesticide, that would kill the Japanese beetles in a coil or on input plate and then send the frequency or IDF informational field of the poison to the plants. This is called using a reagent in radionics terms. The bugs seem to respond similarly to the radionic broadcast as they would to the physical spray of chemicals. Most of the corn silks in the treated area were not damaged, whereas almost all of the silks in the untreated rows were damaged. The most common question I get is this: if this technology is so effective, why doesn't everyone know about it? Or another variation of the question is this: if this technology really works, then everyone would know about it and be using it. Most of my readers know the answers to these questions and are not so naive. But for those of you who are new and do not yet know these answers, I would suggest the book Report on Radionics by Edward Russell. He clearly documents the history and suppression of this amazing technology. Since 1950s, much has been learned about plants and infestations. We have realized that pests have a purpose. We have also learned that plants have communication systems. They talk to one another via subtle acoustic and electromagnetic signals. This has been well documented in The Secret Life of Plants by Peter Tompkins and Christopher Bird. Not only do plants communicate, but all of nature seems to be involved in a vast information exchange that produces sustainable and ever adapting changes in the DNA network aimed at the survival of all things. One example is the research by Dan Carlson. He found that plants open their pores to let in moisture and nutrients when the birds begin their morning songs. He surmised that if he played the frequencies of a bird songs or music in the same frequency range to the plants and then sprayed on some micronutrients, the plants would grow better. That turned out to be a vast understatement. Dan has grown the largest indoor plant in the world and has been nominated for the Nobel Prize for his work. I personally have used his product called Sonic Bloom and had very good results. Over the years, research in radionics in agriculture has shifted from getting rid of pests to creating a healthy environment for the plants. It has been discovered that plants send out a signal or communication that indicates its current state of health. If the plant is weak or dying, it sends out the signal for the insects and bugs and bacteria, etc. And they respond by coming to eat it. Wow. If you have any experience in gardening, you will have noticed that some plants are infested with bugs, while nearby plants of the same variety have little or no bugs. These plants are stronger and healthier than the plants being eaten by the bugs. Pests are nature's way of pruning out the unhealthy plants and supporting the healthy plants to reproduce and enhance the species' chance for survival. Of course, if you spray a pesticide and all of the plants and it kills the bugs, you do not have a feedback system anymore about the state of health of your plants. The other negative side effect is that both healthy and unhealthy plants then reproduce and it weakens the overall species. What creates strong plants? A simple word in environment. A strong environment produces strong plants. This is achieved by several factors: rich soil, clean water, good weather, seeds with strong DNA, appropriate balance of enzymes, minerals, and bacteria in the soil, lack of toxins, and strong subtle fields similar to our chakras in the overall growing area. These can all be analyzed and balanced with the SE 5000 via IDF intrinsic data fields. Increasing the life force of the soil and environment will naturally reduce the influx of pests, and of course, it will increase the yield and the quality of the food. Being healthy does not mean not being sick. A state of health is not the absence of illness. Since the early days of radionics, we have learned that eliminating illness is not the optimum way to produce health. Of course, it is a starting point because it is difficult to be healthy when one is sick in bed. But as with agriculture, human health occurs from an abundance of energy, not from a lack of pathogens. The question is, how do we gather energy and maintain it? There are many roads to the same destination, and the 5E SE5 works more like a GPS than a map. With a map, you can see where you are and where you want to go if you can find the "you are here" point on a map. With GPS, you just need to know where you want to go. You type in the destination and it guides you every step of the way. You take a wrong turn, it recalculates a new path from where you are currently are. The most efficient way to get to where you want to go, state of health, is to start at the control center and gain command over the steering mechanism. In this case, this would be the DNA. The DNA is the driver's seat of the cells. The basic elements of the cells are threefold. There is an outer membrane, an inner mantle, cytoplasm, and the nucleus, which contains the DNA and its instructions. We have about 60 trillion cells in our body with different functions and responsibilities. Basically, all the cells are doing two things. One is listening, and the two is responding. The cells are listening to your environment through the molecular antenna in the cellular membrane. This membrane interprets the signals and sends the instruction to the DNA in the nucleus of the cell. The DNA responds by activating the appropriate responses in the cell to turn on or turn off different genes. Since the DNA is a kind of salt, it transduces electromagnetic energy very well. Its crystalline structure is perfect for transmitting and storing information. This combination works basically like a radio. It sends signals via waves with information riding on the waveforms. This happens in all 60 trillion cells all the time. These radios are super sensitive and can pick up and respond to the slightest change in thought or emotion. Everything in your environment, including the food you eat, the liquids you drink, the air you breathe, and the thoughts and feelings you carry with you, all shape your physical body. The DNA responds and sends signals to either produce certain hormones or turn off them. Higher frequency thoughts, which is of love or generosity, will produce higher vibrations, quite literally in the body, all the way down to the DNA, which then releases different types of amino acids and hormones that determine how we feel. This in turn has a direct effect on the overall state of our health. Lower frequency thoughts and feelings, such as fear and anger, produce a different set of hormones that makes us feel bad. The DNA is the driver's seat of these interactions. There are many aspects to health. Healthy living is something that builds on itself. Making radical changes is possible, but that means making quantum leaps in understanding and being willing to let go of conventional ideas of everyday life. It is pretty obvious that conventional ways of living are filling our hospitals and doctors' offices. What is taken for granted as normal has very little to do with living life to its fullest or potentializing health. So, this is written by Don Frantz and beautifully explained about the importance of pests and why do pests come, and like that is how we get to know the health of the plant. And yeah, that's a new information I was not aware of, and very glad to know this, friends. So if there is anybody who wish to share and speak, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. So we don't have to put the pesticides. That's what Don is saying here. We should not put pesticides because uh, pesticides, maybe the bugs and the insects, they will die, but the health of the plant will not be coming back. So instead, we should leave it as it is. And if the plant is communicating to the bugs, to inviting the bugs and the insects to come and have that plant, let it be. I think we should keep observing. We should keep experimenting and seeing how it will happen. Yes, Manisha ji.
Yes, the music you said, um, he uh, he did some experiments on music to the
Mm-hmm.
plants.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get those musics? and let our plants heal also and grow better.
Okay, so what I can do is I can check with Don. I will check with him if he has some music. And Manisha ji, there is also a musics in YouTube. If you
Because,
can,
sorry, I'm interrupting you.
no, please
Uh,
go.
because lately I've also started organic farming.
Mm-hmm,
Um, Initially, um, it was like a process. It came before coming into meditation. I was into organic farming and was deeply into it.
mm-hmm,
That I started composting also,
mm-hmm,
and I don't throw away my vegetables any, and even I started making my own fertilizers.
mm-hmm,
And I, I've brought some vermicompost, and I'm not using any pesticide with my plant.
mm-hmm,
And the one which are pest infested, I keep them as it is.
mm-hmm.
I don't apply any uh, pesticide.
Good.
That's what
No,
I am trying to do. That's what is coming in, came into me. That
mm,
it all happens naturally. And the
yes.
fruits that plant give, only that we take.
Mm,
We don't expect anything. That we
yes.
should give more fruits. That we should apply more uh, hormones and all growth hormones and
Correct.
try to make it more. Should yield, give us more yield. That is not
Mm,
our. It's like natural.
very
It
true.
gives us, we thank we feel we gratitude for them, and we pay back, and it's giving us. But
Yes.
this Radion one is more new to me, and so I
Mm-hmm.
want
Yes,
this
I will send. I'll check with him and I'll try to get the music and I'll send it to you, Manisha ji. And also there is in YouTube. We had been to Italy and we had visited this place called Damanur. In that, what they do is they communicate with the plants. They have some kinds of instrument they put next to the plants, and we all know that plants communicate and they do sing. You know, like so. What they have taken all the when they have put the instruments, they could see the frequency of the plants that they are singing, and that music is really really amazing. Even we were meditating with that music. It is really beautiful. So I can share you that
yes,
YouTube links, and
yes,
maybe you
that
can
will
just
be
go through
beautiful.
it. It is really amazing. It is taking us somewhere, as if we could really feel the plants speaking. Amazing, amazing it is. So yes, thank you so much, Manisha ji, for asking and reminding about this. Yeah, wonderful. Yes, Ram.
Thank
Yeah. I would like to add a little bit information to what you just said, Madhu, for Manisha ji's question. As we understood from this article, that all plants are communicating. Hmm? So they are no different than a human being. So what music fits well to it? Any music, instrumental, classical, that has high energy in it. We have all the researchers. For example, if we go into the water research by the Japanese scientist Masaru Emoto, he also specifies what types of music is producing the high crystalline structure within the water. And indeed, when we meditate with these musics, we also realize how deeply energetic they are, how easily we connect. So the same music is very good for the plants too.
you.
Okay,
Yeah,
this is one. Second thing, I'm very happy to see that many people are now connecting to produce their own food.
Mm,
Is the same thing which Anastasia says. There are various ways which she also refers to grow the plants, right? Maybe you can share that article, that part of that book, Madhu, where it shows how to plant
yeah,
a
plant
seed.
the seed. Mm-hmm.
So please take some photos, and if you can share it in the group.
Mm-hmm.
that will be
Then and then third thing is the experiments that have been done, and we have also done. So in India, where from our native place, um, we, let's say, our family had supported, and then we have a pyramid there for public where people can meditate, and over that they also place the seeds before they are planted. So the result of this doing is, whenever the seeds are placed in the pyramid for some days before they are planted, they naturally become more, how do you say, more better, good in growth, less attracting, or let's say less infected with whatever thing. So there was less and less need of any external support for them to grow healthier. And over that, the productivity was, I think, if I remember well, they were saying around 20 to 30% higher than using all the chemicals. So there are various sources, and then even the water which you use, you can think about it. Like we have, like here in Germany, what we are doing is we have the water pot where we store the water before being given to the plants, and in that pot we placed all the crystals inside. So the water is left in that pot till few days. So basically, the crystalline energy is passed on to the water, and then we use that water to water the plants. So there are various options. So you can always place, like this music, you can play the music, you know how to do it, and then use the pyramid energies to as much as possible. So before planting the seeds, and even at the plants, you can place these small pyramids, the water, your thoughts, everything are the real chemicals that are helping these plants. Just wanted to add this much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ram. Shirinji?
Yes, this is wonderful listening to all this information. I used to go to a place called the Optimum Health Institute in San Diego, and they used to do a 3-week program. And I think it started many years ago with a woman, Anne Wigmore, who really was one of the original people that started raw food.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to give us the program was a 3-week program, and I think I must have gone there about maybe 15 times. All of us used to just go because it was wonderful for health. They would put you on things like raw food, detoxing with wheatgrass, and colonics. They would teach you how to do enemas and things like this to clean the body. It was amazing place, and they used to play music to the plants. So where they grew the wheatgrass, they would have this wonderful classical music. And that at that time, and this would have been a long time ago, I was fascinated that you would have music playing to your plants. Now it seems so normal for all of us. So it just makes so much sense that all of this is almost in divine order. And also it leads me to when my youngest son was studying, and he had issues, dyspraxia and stuff. What we found was there was music that you could play that enhanced his learning. So you just think, oh, that's just really wonderful that vibration of music can be so uplifting. And yet sometimes we just it's not natural that we think about, just like the water element. And I saw the experiments that was done there, where it was fascinating that if you swore and you looked at how the water crystallized, and if you actually said positive things, it's just like, this is so wonderful for us to know, gosh, everything we think, everything we are doing is making a difference, is resonating somewhere. And if we put that into our life, and just begin with intention that process, how wonderful things can be. And my sense is that it's not easy as you begin anything, but as you continue, it just becomes natural and automatic. Yeah. So thank you so much for sharing this. This is wonderful, because this is the one thing I know the least about, but it's great. Thank you.
Thank you, Shirinji. Yes, Sharo?
Good morning, everyone. Lovely meditation music, beautiful. This is also one of my favorite part, because I've been communicating with the nature and animals of lately, and I am very much in connection with them. But as far as this article is concerned, when we talk about radionics, I don't have much of an information, but what I believe is that it was started by Albert Abrams. And whenever he experimented all these things, he said that there is an imbalance of the energies whenever there is a disease that occurs, and he wanted to cure that imbalance through the radionics, but his experiments were not being approved. And but then it was, I think, Dr. Edward Bach who started off with his experiments. He started learning from Abrams, and after that he started using these Bach remedies. I don't know whether is there anybody who's aware of these Bach remedies. So they are very popular nowadays, the Bach remedies. So he became very popular with that. But radionics, there is another thing that happened with radionics, was because it was being used to find the water substance in somewhere where the water was not being found. It was used there. Today, nowadays, I find that, these crystals, as Ramsar also said, the crystals also are used for dowsing. If you have read about the crystal dowsing, because I've got a crystal dowsing from somebody. It was being given to me as a gift, but I did not know how to use it. So it was like, it was to get the answer yes or no. So it is on the basis of the radionics technology that was being introduced by that. So so I think when we talk about radionics, when we talk about this article, I think Abrams has given us a lot of things, but it was not being approved. But now people are slowly and gradually getting back to whatever he proposed, and now with more, I think, additions into it through their own information and knowledge and experimentation. Now it is coming up again and again, like the Bach remedies. I think everybody might be aware of those Bach remedies. I am not aware much of the Bach remedies, but yes, I have heard about that. So yes, and one more thing, what Ramgaru said, that about the crystals and the music, they really, really, play a lot of importance in any plant's life, whatever you are cultivating, whatever you are nurturing, because any music with a lot of beautiful energies will do. There's not a particular music that will only help, any kind of a music, but for that you need to ask the plant also. You always have to take a permission from the plant, that whether the plant is willing to listen to that music, what is it that the plant wants. So there has to be a constant communication with the plant. That should be there. You should always respect the plant's, you can say, a desire, or plant's permission. You have to take the plant's permission. Even if you think that, okay, how can a plant permit us? Those kind of questions will come back to you, but then still you have to just say that, okay, I'm putting this music for your own well-being, and this is I'm doing, so I hope you will like it. So you have to ask, and you have to give respect to the plant's will as well. So that is what I wanted to add to what Ramgaru said. And thank you so much for this wonderful article. Thank you, Madhugaru. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sharo. Very good.
Madhu,
Yes, Ram.
is that possible to check with Don Paris or Anil Sinhaji, because they are into these. Don Paris is into the music, and Anil Sinhaji, I think he did also extensive research on radionics, if I remember well. Can you check if they're available to give us some session so we can all deep dive into these wonderful topics?
We can do that. Yeah,
Okay.
we can do
Thank you.
that. Thanks. Yes, friends, I have posted in the chat for the music, the singing of the plants singing in Damanor. So just go through it and meditate with it and just feel the connection with the entire plant kingdom. It's really amazing. So when we had been to Italy, we had literally witnessed it and how beautifully the plants communicate and they sing this way. It's really beautiful, very beautiful. So please go through the music that is shared here, and also I have shared in the YouTube chat. Uh, so yes, friends. Yes, Indraji.
Thank you for this, Madhuji. It's amazing. It's amazing. So one thing becomes clear from all this is that
Mm-hmm.
all life forms are
Mm-hmm.
the same. All
Yes.
life forms are the same, and everything in the universe is a form of life,
Mm.
and they are all the same. And what makes them different from one another is the level, I suppose, of energy and the
Mm.
vibration every form has. It's amazing. That's what I think comes out of all this. But I have a question, Madhuji.
Mm-hmm.
Say, if you're doing organic farming and there
Mm-hmm.
are weeds growing, is it
Mm-hmm.
still all right to remove them? I think
Yes.
so.
Yes, yes, we can remove them, Indraji. I've recently spoke to a friend of mine. I think he follows this Japanese person. He's a spiritual person, and he grows vegetables in the desert by his technique. I don't know if you have read this book called One Straw Revolution. So that in that book he speaks about all these things, and my friend he follows that, and he had recently showed me that he had kept an area for his other plants, and one area of his garden he left for the weeds to grow. They just grow in that region, and he will not disturb that region. He will not go and pluck anything from there. So whatever is coming, he just appreciated. But the rest of the part in the rest of the land, he just goes and wherever whenever he just speaks to the weed and just remove it. So that we can do it. That we can always do it. Re- Give some space also for them, because those are also very important. Weeds are also important. So yeah.
Thank you, Madhuji. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Mhm. Thank you, Raji. Mithulaji.
I don't know what time it is. I just got up
Good
and was
morning.
listening to your conversation. I don't know if it's morning or night now where you are, but I just listened to a little bit. I don't know. I hope I'm not off topic when I'm sharing this.
Mhm.
So I have a plant for 21 years. It's
Mhm.
a plant that I
Wow.
bought in Minneapolis.
Mhm.
It actually, I have a Buddha statue. I shared it with one of the session. It kind of grows towards the Buddha statue,
Mm.
but that's not what I wanted to share. Is um, wherever I am, it grows. But when I was living in the apartment, we had to trim it because I was moving
Mm.
to a house, and they had to carry it. It's in a pot, and um, I had a lady that helped me clean, and then she trimmed it while I was doing something else,
Mhm.
and it just turned like yellow. I mean, it it just looked like it was going to die, Madhu.
Mhm.
And someone told me, you need to talk to the plants. I'd never believed
Yeah.
it, and put music. And so me and that lady that helped clean, we both apologized to the plant. We put
Mm.
music to the plant, and we said, we're so sorry. We didn't mean to, cut it without asking,
Mm.
and just within a month, it
Mm.
just blossomed again. I didn't put any nutrition. I didn't put anything different. It was
Mm.
just amazing. So the
Wow.
next time that we had to trim, we took permission
Yes.
from the plant, and we
Yeah.
said, we're sorry we're doing this to you, but we need to
Sure.
do it because we have to move you again.
Mm.
And next time we did it, it's just unbelievable. I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it.
Very true.
And next time we trimmed it, it didn't react.
Mm.
And I still have the plant. You know, I bought it in
Wow.
the year 2000. It's 2021, right?
Yeah.
I was just realizing that the other day.
Wow.
And
Wow.
it's still, you know, and I haven't, you know, when I moved to this, you know, from Austin to Dallas, I had to trim it again. Trim it to move it, or if I have to do something, I now have the permission, explain why I need to do it.
Mm-mm.
And then I do put music once in a while because, you know, I think the vibration, the sound vibration, it really, really helps. It helps us too, so it must help the plant. So
Exactly.
I just had to share that information. If I would have never believed it if it didn't. You know, I thought I was going to lose that plant several. You know, when it happened like that, it just turned. It just was like, I think it was crying. It was just turning yellow, and the leaves were falling.
Yeah.
I was so sad, you know, because I had it for so long.
Yeah.
I was so attached to it. So I thought, oh my God, is this plant dying? But it didn't die. It's still with me. So
Thank
just
you
I
so
had to
much.
share.
Thank you so much, Madhulaji, for this experience. And I would also share to our friends here that whenever you are doing cutting, or like if you want to take shift the plant to another pot, please do communicate with the plant, because without the communication, without the touch, the plant undergoes through a lot of shock. It's like a shock for them. And like we undergo sudden thing. If something happens to us, we go through a shock period, right? The same thing happens with the plants. They can feel. And I request you all to just, if you're cutting or pruning, or like or shifting to the pots, just say to them, and as Madhulaji said, explain to them why you are doing that. And then there will be no shock, because it's like you are touching, and then you're making them comfort, and then say, hey, I'm there for you, and do not worry, and I'm just shifting you for this reason. So when you say that, it's they are just they respond in a beautiful way. They don't react. So thank you so much, Ms. Laji, for sharing this. And in this, Dawn also shared how beautifully about the cornfield. Like it's really interesting to see how this technology helps as well. Instead of using the pesticides, the radionics, the instruments, with the instruments we can send the vibrations so that the plants can get healed. So that is really really amazing. And yes, Manisha ji, you have written that even dry leaves I collect, and yes, exactly. That's really wonderful, Manisha ji. I think what Manisha ji, if you can, like whenever you have time, if you can come up and share your how do you do the organic farming? Like it is very important, and um, I am really interested in it, and I do in my balcony some kind of a farm kind of a thing, though it's like some leafy vegetables and some tomato plants I grow. So I would like to really know from your side, like what are the steps that we have to take care. We know it, but coming from the person who is already doing helps us a lot. So if you can give us a session on this, that would be really helpful for everyone of us to implement, because it is very important to have a balcony farming, or if you have a small land to do the farming, so that to grow the vegetables, and how that vegetables heals us. This is what Anastasia says. The vegetables or the fruits that comes from the plants that you have grown is for you, because it carries the DNA of you. And when you take that fruit or vegetable, that is healing your system. So see how everything is interconnected. So we would really like to have
Yes,
your
surely.
session.
It will
Yeah.
be a beautiful experience.
Wonderful. Thank you, Manisha ji. We'll coordinate with you, and we'll fix a date soon. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well tried.
Wonderful. So yes, friends, and Ram is also saying that there is in Instagram there is this lady, wonderful, vibrant, and very beautiful lady, a very beautiful soul. Her name is her Instagram handle is Warm Rani, WORMRANI. She speaks about all these things about organic farming and how to make the compost and everything regarding the farming. She'll be speaking about there. So you can just watch that as well and get inspired. And truly, we will have Manisha ji's session so that we have the practical, we have a person with us who can really guide us. And if we have any questions, she will be there for to give us an answer. So yes, friends. So I think that's all for today, as I have another session in about 40 minutes. Friends, we will be having a session in 3.5 hours time for the book reading session, A Thousand Seeds of Joy, and then later followed by at 2 p.m. UK time or 3 p.m. Egypt and Egypt, Germany, or France, Netherlands time. Uh, and 6:30 p.m. India time, we will be having Master Sharu's session today. Today, Sharu will be guiding us into a short meditation and also speaking about the self-love, how self-love is very much important to us. So that will be for today afternoon, and for today evening we'll be having Ram. I think Ram will we will share the topic soon, and followed by the Egyptian session at 9:30 p.m. So 9:30 p.m. Europe time or Germany time, 8:30 p.m. UK time, or I think in India it is too late. So yes, friends, please do join these sessions. Not only these sessions, there are so many sessions happening all over the world. So please do join and let us all get informed more about various concepts of how we can uplift ourselves and how to live in harmony with everything. So, yes, friends. So, till we see each other in some time, have a lovely day and lovely evening. Namaste to all, and good night to the ones who are connecting from
Friends,
US.
friends, friends. One addition. So
Mhm.
today, the goddess of self-love, Madhu Gazala, she is going to be there in the session, and she's going to give her valuable inputs in the session that is going to happen on self-love. So please do join us and just listen to her also what she has to say about self-love. So I would request all of you to join today, and if you can share this information to your friends and families, I would be really grateful to all of you. So let's see each other again. So thank you so much, so much.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you. Yes. So, all right,
Thank you.
friends. Thank you, Bhamna ji. Thank you, Manisha ji.
Thank you, Madhuji. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Madhuji, for the lovely
Thank you,
session.
Divya.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Thank
much.
you, Madhuji.